what's up? I was doing some research on the effects of 5G. So there's a lot of theories as to what is coronavirus and viruses in general. I'm reading a book called The Truth About Contagion. Tom Cowan, Dr. Tom Cowan. And he talks a lot about the myth of contagion, and from Louis Pasteur and up, it's been kind of a fraud attempt to prove that contagion exists, pretty much. And that's what the book is about, and that it's all about the environment. Like there's some type of toxicity in the environment as opposed to a virus that's spread from person to person. And one of these toxicities could obviously be 5G, EMF, not only 5G, but 4G, everything to do with wireless technology. And I'm not very good at explaining it, but it's all the electromagnetic waves that are in the air that are pretty much signaling. And these have potency and they affect the physical reality we live in. They affect your body, they affect everything else, and those are the things that create the viruses. So there's so much research on the causality between the launch of 5G and COVID. It's crazy. And you won't find it on YouTube or on Google search. You have to go to Rumble or like some other sites, or find some articles from a friend, or go to scientific journals and stuff like that. But it's crazy. It's out there. Like it exists. There's a super strong correlation. And so that's the bad news. That we're in 5G. We live in 5G, and now we're going to 6G. And, is there any escaping this? That's the bad news. And I'm gonna add that to my website question, thenarrative.weebly.com. There's a lot of other conspiracy theories, the dark side, what they're doing and everything. But anyway, the good news though, so I just ran across this again, which I've run across it a bunch of times, and I want to do with my kids now, which you guys should do with your kids. So it's called the Rice Experiment. And basically you put an airtight container. You have three or two airtight containers. And on each container you put like love. On one container you put a sign that says love. On the other container you put a sign that says hate. And on the other container you put a sign that says ignore. And that's kind of like the control. The ignore is you don't do anything to it. Basically you put rice. You cook some rice up, white rice. You put it in the airtight container. You shut it, so one jar says love, one jar says hate, one jar you ignore, and you just set it off in the corner. You don't put it in the fridge or anything. You put it by your bed or something. And every night, the love container, you start for a minute or however long you want to do it. The longer the better. Probably a minute is fine. But the love container, you say beautiful things. So you're beautiful, we love you, you're awesome, blah, blah, blah. And then the hate, and then you put that aside, and then you get the hate container with rice. And then you say, you're the worst, I hate you, you're disgusting, everything negative to the rice. And then the third one, you don't do anything. You just leave it alone. And all of them, you cover them from the light. Like you cover them with a blanket. And then after I think it's 3-4 weeks, however long you want to do it, you'll see the differences in and thousands of people have already done this. You can look it up online. But the love stays nice. The hate gets disgusting. It gets all black and everything. And then the ignore also gets bad. but usually not as bad as the hate, but that can vary. So that's the good news, that our thoughts and our perception of the world, if we're in a state of love and of light, we have a huge impact on the outside world. Imagine with rice, you can do that to rice, right? You can make rice disgusting or make rice beautiful. Just 1 minute a day with your thoughts. Imagine what you can do with your thoughts on a daily basis, 24/7. And we forget about this so much. I forget about this so much, that your thoughts are so powerful. And whatever you're thinking about people, about things, about situations, you're creating that. You're creating. And so when we do look into these dark things that dark people are doing, we're not victims. We're not just like sitting ducks. So sickness, I believe that sickness is mainly caused by you and your biology and your thoughts. And if you're in a state of love and of, grace and of light, you can change, you can transform the reality. And that's nothing new. I mean, that's what miracles are all about and everything. But so we're not victims, and we have power over darkness. Now, that doesn't mean we should shut our eyes to darkness and ignore what's going on and ignore all these, scientific studies that say that, looks like 5G is not good for us, guys. Cell phone, don't put it up to your head all the time. Your kids shouldn't be playing with their tablets on their laps all the time. There's a lot of negative consequences to this. But at the same time, the strongest force in the universe that can reverse that, does that mean we have to go live off grid? I mean, it might, if you're sick or something, but like, we can't change it. We're kind of victims of that, but we're not victims in the sense that if we have that spirit of love in our heart, that we can transform our reality, our physical reality, like as far as sicknesses and everything, and just the world in general. So there's the bad news and the good news.